Welcome to today's tutorial. In this video, I'll be showing us how to attach a band to a skirt with elastic by the sides. Okay, now first off, you have to cut your band. I've done that already and I've put my gum stay on it. The soft one is preferable. So my band is 4 inches long, and as you can see, after cutting it, I folded ½ inch inside and I went ahead to fold it again by 1.5 inches, leaving a sewing allowance of ½ inch. So just look at what it looks like and go ahead and do the cutting, and make sure the length of your band is 2 inches more than the waist. Okay, 2 or more inches. I had mine more, like I had excess, so it's better to be on a safer side. So you can cut 2 or more inches longer than the waist. Okay, so next off, I'm going ahead to attach it to my skirt. Ensure you fix your zipper first. Okay, when you fix your zipper, fold in the zipper allowance as you see me do in the video, and then when you're sewing, leave out 1 inch or 1.5 inch before you start sewing. Now that excess I left out, as you can see in the video, the excess I left out is to enable me fix my skirt hooks so that I can overlap it. Okay, so the skirt hooks will overlap after the zipper allowance. So that's it. If you're interested in fixing a skirt hook, just ensure that you leave out 1 inch plus your sewing allowance, so that'll be 1¼ or 1½ inch before you start sewing, so that when you're done you can close it up and overlap with your hooks. Okay, so this MS collection, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please ensure you subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos, because I always drop amazing content. Okay, so I've sewn one side. I'm going ahead to flip to the other side and I'm sewing. And please take note the position that I'm sewing. I started sewing, I placed the band, I'm sewing from the bad side so that it would cover up. I'll finish the sewing at the front. Okay, so I prefer this method because I'm able to control where the lines appear in front. If you want to sew on the good side to finish up at the bad side, you may not be able to control where the lines will appear in front. So I prefer to sew on the bad side, material facing the bad side, so I can finish up the seam in front. Okay, so I'm done with that, guys, and this is what it looks like. Now next up is to close the sides. Okay, yeah, so it's important to close the sides and bring it out before you attach your elastic. So just look at what I'm doing. Go ahead and bend it and then mark. Now for that excess I had, I just wanted to mark my 1 inch so that I will sew and I'll trim out the remaining. Okay, so that is it. Trim out the remaining and flip over. Do the same thing for the other side. Cut off the excess, trim it out and flip it over, and so you have those sides secured. Now next up is to fix my elastic, and it's very simple, guys. This is a very simple method I've been using and it's very effective. So what I'm going to do, this is my elastic band. I'm using the 1 inch elastic band, so I'm going to cut 10 inches. Okay, now when I cut that 10 inches, I'll divide it into 2, so I need 5 inch per side. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cut the 10 inches. I'll divide it into 2 so that I can use 5 inch for one side, 5 inch for the other side. Now this is also depending on how wide you want the elastic to be. You can actually cut more or less depending also on the size and how wide you want it to be, but for an average skirt, 5 inches is okay. Now from the sides, now look at this, from the side hem I'm taking 5 inches on both sides. When I place that together on my tape, that's like 10 inches. So when you cut 5 inches, make sure that from your side hem, from your side joining, you measure 5 inches on both sides. So if you're using a 4-inch band, you go 4 inches on both sides. So you just like double the space length is double your waistband. So you go ahead and tack the band on one side and then shift it to the other side. Just, it's very simple, guys. Just tack it on one side, carry it the other end and place on the other side you marked. And take note, I'm marking this inside my waistband so the seam does not show on the skirt. It just shows on the waistband that is appearing at the back. Okay, now look at it. Make sure it's inside your waistband and make sure it doesn't interrupt. It's not in the position to interrupt when you are sewing. So I'm doing this for the other side. 5 inches on both sides. Remember, that's because my band is 5 inches, so together that's 10 inches. I place my band on one side of the marking. I sew, carry the end to the next side of the marking, and I sew as well. And that is it, guys. Very simple. Now the next thing will be to close up this band. Yes, so make sure you cut the thread carefully, and then the next thing we'll do is to close up the band. And it's very simple, guys. Just ensure you begin sewing from the beginning. At this point, from the beginning, you close it up from the extra 1 inch you left for the overlap. For the overlap, you know, that will carry the skirt hooks. Just begin to sew carefully, and when you get to the place where you attach the band, ensure you stretch your skirt. You can see the way I'm stretching it in the video. So stretch it, and you can see that where I attach the band is not going to interrupt my sewing. The band is like locked inside the skirt band. The elastic rather is locked inside the skirt band. So stretch it when you get to that point. Continue sewing when you get to the other side of the band. Ensure you stretch it well too. Okay, now just watch the way I'm going about it in the video. Make sure you're sewing carefully, and that's it, guys. You are good to go. Our skirt is ready, as you can see. Now can you see that? Can you see that? When I got to the other side, just stretched it. Okay, so that's it. So when you stretch it and you're done, you discover, when you discover, you find out that elastic nature. Now it's you have that elastic at the sides. You just have it, you know, pulling up at the sides. So there are many methods of fixing this. Some people, you know, stitch on top the band, but I find this method, personally, I think this is like the easiest method, or maybe just, let me just say, one of the easiest methods available. No stress, and anyone can try it. Okay, so, and of course, I've been using this so many times, and I find that the band always sits in place. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like the video if you learned from it, and do not forget to subscribe and share. So when you're done, all you just have to do is to get your hooks and fix on the excess you left so that your skirt overlaps nicely. I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye. Thanks for watching.